So I really look at I love a challenge though, and I'm just so proud of every bit of it. We went through a whole roller coaster of the human experience, and I'm very proud.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
And there's another young guy named Justice Smith in the movie who's a phenomenal actor, and these two find each other. About a month ago, this really hit home with me too. About a month ago, I was sitting in traffic, and I was just like jamming These Dreams by heart. Oh. I was killing it in the car. And there was just this busload of high school kids that were parked right beside me. I didn't even realize. I looked over and every one of their jaws were just on the ground, laughing their friggin' guts out at me.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director.
Yeah.
And so I said, what is this? Because the script is definitely like a twisting, turning, intense thriller. Is it a comedy or a thriller? And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it a thriller?
It's a good mix.
And it's like, it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun and like, kind of like my outfit, I guess.
Yeah. My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just like, he was Clint Eastwood, and less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned about.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. He's like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list. I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like,
Tell me, he's guessing.
Think of someone. Bob Newhart, I don't know.
Well, that is also accurate and weirdly high praise as well. It was just one of those. It felt like a live action Pixar movie. It was something that I wanted to do something where nobody was being stabbed in the face.
Yes.
There was almost no blood at all. I think I got a little paper cut on the movie. That was about it. And something that my kids can watch, but also as a parent, too, you want the parents need to get punched right in the heart as well.
The idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah. And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you out bad.
We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blasé.
And I'm really excited. But as I've gotten a little bit older, I sort of want to. Really, I'm lucky that I get to work in this industry, and particularly incredibly fortunate that I get to work in it this long. But I really want to work with people that are either immensely talented or people that I love and that I'm genuinely best friends with. And unfortunately, Hugh does not qualify as either of those. But I am excited because I'm a Logan fan. So. And then that covers Will Ferrell as well. That's a guy that my entire life I feel.
Marvel just did the unthinkable. Blake Lively is being sued for allegedly leaking Deadpool franchise secrets, and Ryan Reynolds fired from his most iconic role. What could have possibly led to this Hollywood disaster? Let's break down the scandal. That's shaking up Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios is not playing around. In a move that has left fans in disbelief, the studio has officially filed a lawsuit against Blake Lively, accusing her of leaking confidential Deadpool franchise details. But that's not all Ryan Reynolds has been removed from the role of. Deadpool, after more than a decade of defining the character, fans are outraged. Hollywood is reeling, and the question on everyone's mind is, how did this happen? Insiders claim that Blake Lively gained access to sensitive Deadpool information plot twists. surprise cameos, and even script excerpts. But why would she risk everything to leak these secrets? The lawsuit suggests she used this information as a distraction from her ongoing feud with It Ends With Us director Justin Baldoni. And that's when things took a dark turn. Blake and Baldoni were once seen as a perfect creative duo, until things went south fast. Leaked text messages allegedly reveal that Blake accused Baldoni of planting negative stories about her in the media. In retaliation, Baldoni reportedly exposed messages showing Blake threatening to use her Hollywood connections, including Ryan Reynolds, to sway public opinion in her favor. This behind-the-scenes battle was spiraling out of control, and Marvel Studios got caught in the crossfire. Ryan Reynolds is known for being Hollywood's golden boy, but this time, things took a shady and unexpected turn. Insiders claim Ryan knew about Blake's leaks and actively tried to cover up the situation, working behind the scenes to make sure the truth never reached the public eye. Text messages reportedly show Ryan scrambling to control the damage while still fiercely protecting his wife. But Marvel saw his involvement as a massive breach of trust, one they simply couldn't ignore. And for a studio that thrives on airtight secrecy, this wasn't just a slip-up, it was an absolute disaster. They viewed Ryan's actions as a direct threat to their billion-dollar empire. And in a move that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, they made it clear nitrogen monoxide one was untouchable. This was the final straw, and the consequences would be brutal. And here's where things get really messy. In Deadpool and Wolverine, fans noticed a new character, Nice Pool, who just happened to resemble Justin Baldoni a little too much. We're talking over-the-top monologues, deep, dramatic pauses, and an endless stream of inspirational quotes. The resemblance wasn't just uncanny, it felt almost intentional. Fans immediately started speculating that this was a direct shot at Baldoni, carefully orchestrated by Ryan Reynolds himself as a not-so-subtle dig. And let's just say Baldoni's legal team was not amused. They went nuclear, arguing that Ryan used the film as a personal weapon, turning Marvel's billion-dollar franchise into his own private battle. Fueled to settle an old score, one that just so happened to involve his wife's long-standing vendetta. Was this all just some lighthearted parody, a harmless inside joke, or had Ryan taken things way too far, turning Hollywood's most beloved anti-hero into a tool for some deeply personal revenge? If you thought this scandal couldn't get any crazier, think again. Leaked text messages between Blake and her associates paint a chilling picture of manipulation, deception, and high-stakes Hollywood power plays. One particularly damning message reads, "If Justin won't bend, we'll bury him with Deadpool cameo leaks." But that wasn't the only shocking exchange. Additional texts reveal a calculated effort to control the media narrative, with Blake allegedly using her insider access to push Marvel executives into a corner. This explosive revelation raised serious questions. Had Blake actually weaponized her access to Marvel's secrets for personal gain? Was Ryan complicit in it all? And just how deep did this conspiracy go? The more messages surfaced, the more it seemed like this wasn't just an isolated mistake, it was a carefully crafted plan that may have been months, if not years, in the making. Marvel Studios is known for its ironclad secrecy, and this scandal put their entire brand at risk. With Deadpool set to join the Avengers storyline, the studio couldn't afford any negative press, especially with such a highly anticipated crossover in the works. The stakes were too high, and Marvel wasn't about to let anything jeopardize their next box office juggernaut. So they did what nitrogen monoxide one expected, sued Blake Lively and fired Ryan Reynolds. It was a shocking and ruthless decision, one that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Was it a brutal move? Absolutely. But for Marvel, protecting their multi-billion-dollar franchise was priority number one, and in their eyes, no one, no matter how beloved, was above the rules. This decision not only changed the future of Deadpool, but also raised a major question. Was this truly about leaks, or was Marvel sending a message to everyone in the industry? Fans went wild. The moment Ryan's firing was made public, the internet exploded. Social media erupted with outrage, and within minutes, hashtags like #BringBackRyan and #SaveDEADPOL were trending worldwide. Devoted fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit, demanding an explanation from Marvel Studios. Some argue that personal scandals should never cost someone their career, insisting that Reynolds had become too iconic to be replaced. Others, however, backed Marvel's decision, believing that integrity and professionalism should always come first, no matter how beloved the actor may be. This divide in the fanbase quickly escalated into heated online debates, proving just how polarizing Hollywood controversies can get. the passion, the loyalty, and the absolute chaos. This was more than just a casting decision. This was a full-blown cultural battle, with fans, critics, and industry insiders all taking sides. And then came the comparisons. Some fans started drawing parallels between Blake Lively and Amber Heard, both actresses, who were initially seen as victims but later faced accusations of manipulation. In deception, the internet began dissecting every move Blake had ever made, questioning whether she had been playing the long game all along. Was Blake really the villain in this story? Someone who masterfully pulled strings from behind the scenes? Or was she simply another Hollywood power player trying to navigate an industry? Built on optics and public perception, the internet was divided. But one thing was clear: her reputation was now under the microscope. In every past interview, red carpet moment, and social media post was being analyzed with a whole new perspective. With the court of public opinion now fully engaged, the stakes for Blake had never been higher. With Ryan gone, fans are left asking who can possibly take his place. His portrayal of Deadpool redefined superhero movies, blending razor-sharp humor with insane action. For over a decade, he was Deadpool, embodying the role in a way no one else could. Can Marvel find someone in the LSE who can match his perfect mix of chaos, wit, and heart? Or will any replacement be destined to fail? Fans are already debating potential candidates. But the truth is, some roles are simply irreplaceable. Will Deadpool never be the same again? One thing's for sure: the story is far from over, and Hollywood is in for a wild, unpredictable ride that could shake up the entire Marvel universe. What do you think about this jaw-dropping scandal? Should Marvel have really fired Ryan Reynolds? Or is there something much deeper going on behind the scenes? And what about Blake Lively? Could she actually be the mastermind behind this entire mess? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for all the latest Hollywood drama, shocking celebrity feuds, and behind-the-scenes secrets they don't want you to know. This is Juicy Goss, where we bring you the truth, and we'll see you in the next one.